Assalamu alaikum students, I hope you all are fine. Students, we are in unit 4, that is problem solving, and today we are going to finish the exercise of this unit. Question number 7 says that draw a flow chart to read your name and display it on the screen. It's very simple flow chart. You are going to perform only two operations, that is input operation and output operation. First of all, put the start symbol, and then we have to input the name. For input, reading any number or any kind of data is an input operation. So you can also put the word input instead of read, or you can put the word read. Both are indicating an input operation. So read name, that is an input, that's why it is represented by parallelogram, and then we are just displaying that name that we have read in the previous step. And you also know that displaying anything is a output operation, and that is also represented by parallelogram. So first we have to read the name, and then we will display the name. For both purposes we will be using the input output symbol, that is parallelogram, and then stop, the terminal symbol. So it's very simple. Let's move to the next question, that is question number 8 says that draw a flow chart that calculates the area of square. Okay, square is a shape in which all the four sides are having the same length. First of all, the start symbol, then input, side. Now as we are finding the area of a square, so we just need to know the length of a single side. That's why I am using a single variable, that is side. Side means length of a single side of a square. That will be our input, and it is represented by parallelogram. Now in processing, we will find out the area of this square. So the formula is very simple, that is area is equal to side multiplied by side. So that will give us the area of that specific square. Now for this purpose I am using a processing symbol, that is rectangle, because it includes some arithmetic operation, that is multiplication. We are multiplying the side with side, which will give us the value of area of a square. And then display the area. For display we use the output symbol, that is parallelogram. For input and output the same symbol is used, and then stop, the terminal symbol. Okay. Question number 9 says that draw a flowchart that reads any number. If number is greater than 0, then display number is positive, otherwise display number is negative. Okay. Here in this flowchart we will input a single number, then we will put a condition that if that number is greater than 0, it means it's a positive number, but if it is not greater than 0, it means it's a negative number. So how we will draw the flowchart for this purpose? Let's see. First of all, the start symbol, then we have to input that number, and the number is represented by capital N. Input N. N represents a number, and parallelogram is used for input operation. Now I told you that for condition or conditional statement we use the diamond symbol. So inside the diamond symbol we are putting a condition that is n is that number that we have input is greater than 0, and then question mark. We are actually evaluating a condition that if number is greater than 0, Now this statement will give us any of the two possible results, either true or false. In both cases we will have different outputs. First case, if the result is true, means that n is really greater than 0, n is a positive number, and this condition is true, then we will display, and this flowchart will display number is positive because the condition is true. And after displaying the output, it will go to the stop symbol because we have got our output. The second situation is that if this condition is false, if n is not greater than 0, means that n is less than 0 and n is a negative number, so means the condition is false. So in that case we will have a different result, and it will display number is negative because the condition is false. And then go to the stop and terminal symbol. So a conditional statement always gives us any of the two possible results. In case of true, there will be a different result, and in case of false, there will be a different result or output. So I hope you have understood the concept of this diamond and conditional statement. Question number 10 says that draw a flow chart that reads any number. If number is even, then display even number, otherwise display odd numbers. Now it is also a conditional flowchart. In this flowchart we will be using the diamond symbol because we are actually evaluating a condition on that input number, that if that number is even, we will display the message even number, and if it is an odd number so we will display the message odd number. First of all, the start symbol, then input number. Now we will find out that whether this number n is an even number or odd number. So for that purpose we will be putting a conditional statement, and it will be represented by a diamond symbol. Here we are writing is n, and is that number. Mod is an operator, and then 2 is equal to 0. Now mod stands for modulus. It gives us the remainder of any expression. Any number divided by any other number, and we are using the mod operator, so it will give us the remainder. Like for example, if we are dividing 5 mod 3, consider that the value of n is 5. 5 mod, let's say it is 2. So what will be the remainder? If 5 is divided by 2, the remainder will be 1. So in that case 5 is an odd number, and this condition will be false. For example, we are having the value of n is 4 mod 2. So whenever 4 is divided by 2, the remainder is always 0. So in that case the result will be true. So remember that mod operator gives us the remainder when one number is divided by any other number. Okay. So the first situation, if this condition is true, means that the value of n is divided by 2 and the remainder is 0. It means that the number or the number n is an even number. We already know the definition of even numbers. The definition of even number, that any number which is completely divisible by 2 means that the remainder is 0, that is called even number. And any number which is divisible by, which is not completely divisible by 2, that is an odd number. So if the remainder is 0 and the condition is true, in that case it will display even number. And then we'll move to the end of the flowchart. The other situation is that if n mod 2 is not equal to 0, means that the value of n is an odd number. So in that case the condition is false and it will display odd number. So I hope it is very simple, and after displaying the odd number it will move to the stop symbol. So this is how we can use the conditional statement in situations where we are having a conditional statement to be evaluated for displaying the results. So here we are actually finding out that whether the input number is an even number or odd number. So for that purpose we are using the expression n mod 2 is equal to 0. So we are evaluating this condition that if the number is divided by 2 and the remainder is 0, it means it's a even number, and if the remainder is not 0 the condition is false, so that is an odd number. So I hope you have understood the concept of these flowcharts. If you have any confusion you can ask me later on in the comments, and I will try my best to explain it even more. Okay students, that's it for today. If you have any question you can ask me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe my channel Computer Tuition Academy. Thanks a lot. Take care. Allah Hafiz.